Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're checking out the new Dreo Portable Air Conditioner. It is one of their newer models and comes loaded with smart features you don't typically see on other units in this category. In this video, I will walk you through everything from setup to real-world testing so we can see how well it actually performs. So, let's jump right in. This right here is the unit itself, specifically the 14,000 BTU version, which is the most powerful model Dreo makes. It is rated to cool rooms up to 450 square feet. When it comes to the design, it actually looks pretty nice. There is a display on the front that shows useful info like the temperature and settings, and up top you've got touch controls that are easy to use. It also comes with a remote, and there's an app you can use to control it from your phone that I'll show you how that works in a bit. As for the size, it's surprisingly compact for a 14,000 BTU unit. Just to give you a reference, it's pretty similar to the Black+Decker 14,000 BTU portable AC, but this one's a little slimmer at the top when you look at it from the side. The unit itself measures about 28 inches tall, 16 inches long, and around 14 inches at its widest point. When you receive it, this is the box the unit comes in. To open it, just cut the security straps and lift the entire box straight up. Inside, here's everything you'll find. First, there's a quick start guide that walks you through the installation step by step, along with a few things you should know before getting started. You'll also get the full instruction manual for the unit. It also comes with a good amount of foam to help fill any gaps around your window during installation. Then we've got the exhaust hose, which is what pushes the hot air outside. You'll also get some insulation foam tape. This goes around your window to help seal it better and keep the cool air in. The remote control is included too, with the batteries packed separately on the side. And finally, there are a few extra accessories like a drainage hose. But to be honest, you probably won't need it unless you live somewhere super humid. You will also find this panel, which is the one that goes in your window and connects to the exhaust hose. It also comes with an extension piece in case your window is wider than usual. So you've got plenty of flexibility to make it fit properly. So before we move on to the installation, there are a few things you should know. This is the back of the unit, and here you'll find two air filters. These help trap dust and particles to keep the air clean while the unit runs. They're both washable, so no need to replace them. Dreo recommends giving them a quick clean about every 2 weeks, especially if you're using the unit daily. You will also notice two drainage ports. This AC is designed to evaporate most of the water it collects from condensation, so in most cases you won't need to worry about draining it. But if you live in a very humid area, let's say above 70% humidity, you might need to use them. The upper drain port is there if you want to touch the drainage hose and leave it connected so the water drains continuously. The lower port is mainly for when you're getting ready to store the unit, like at the end of the season, or if the internal tank gets full and needs to be emptied completely. Now let's move on to the installation. This is where I'll be setting up the unit. In my case, I'm using a horizontal sliding window, so I'll be installing the panel horizontally. But if your window opens vertically, no problem. You can easily set it up that way too. This is actually the first time installing a window panel like this where I didn't need to cut anything. The panel fits perfectly right out of the box, which made things super easy. I started by filling the gaps on the sides and the bottom with the included foam. I used 2 layers here, but the key is just to make it fit as snug as possible to prevent any air leaks. Then I added the foam tape to the bottom of the window panel. This helps seal it up even more and keeps the cool air inside. I should also mention that this type of installation doesn't damage your window at all. It's a temporary setup, so you can remove it anytime you want. No need to drill holes or screw anything into place. And if you have a window that slides up, like mine, there's usually a small gap between the two window panes once you close it. Just use more of the included foam to fill that space. And that's it. Now it's time to connect the exhaust hose. On the side of the unit, you just slide the hose into place like this. Then line it up with the window panel and push it in until it clicks. Out of all the portable ACs I've installed before, this one was hands down the easiest. No cutting, no drilling, no extra tools. Just a pair of scissors to cut the foam, and you're good to go. The extendable hose gives you a lot of flexibility. It can reach up to 60 inches, which is super helpful if your window is a bit farther from where you want to place the unit. That said, I do recommend keeping it as short as possible. The hose heats up quite a bit while the AC is running, and the longer it is, the more of that heat can end up radiating back into the room, which can affect the overall cooling performance. Now, let me give you a quick walkthrough on how to use this unit. There are basically three ways to control it. First, you've got the touch buttons right on top of the unit. They're super responsive and easy to use. Then, there's the remote control, which also works great. It has all the main functions and feels just as responsive. A small but smart detail I really like is that the unit has a magnetic spot to hold the remote. Super handy, so you don't lose it. But my favorite feature, and something I haven't seen on most other portable ACs, is the app control. In the quick start guide, there's a QR code you can scan that takes you straight to the app download. Once you install the app, just tap Add Device, and the unit will show up automatically even if it's turned off. Just wait a few seconds for it to connect, and that's it. The app is really well designed and packed with useful features. From your phone, you can easily control the temperature and switch between the three main modes: cooling, dry mode, which acts like a built-in dehumidifier, and fan-only mode. Each mode has a different color, so you can quickly see which one is active. You can also adjust the fan speed, activate sleep mode, which gradually adjusts the temperature throughout the night for better comfort, or turn on eco mode to help reduce energy use. There are plenty of other settings as well. Overall, the app is super intuitive and definitely makes using the unit a lot more convenient. Now, let's put it to the test and see how it performs. For this test, I wanted to see how well it could cool down a room that's about 350 square feet. I set a timer, turned the unit to its max setting, and started the test. After just 20 minutes, the room had already dropped to 73 degrees, which is pretty impressive, especially since I ran this test around noon when the sun was hitting the room at full force. I let it run for a full 2 hours, and by the end, the temperature had dropped to 68 degrees. That's a really solid performance for a portable AC, especially one this size. When it comes to efficiency, all AC units come with that yellow energy guide label that shows you how efficient they are. This one is rated at 5.6 SEER, which is actually more efficient than a lot of other single-host portable AC units out there. This model is rated for about 1300 watts, and the highest I saw during my test was around 1340 watts. But over the 2-hour test, it used a total of about 2450 watt-hours, which averages out to roughly 1225 watt-hours per hour of use. So it is not only powerful but also fairly efficient for what it delivers, especially when cooling a room during peak heat hours. One of the most impressive things about this AC is the noise level. Out of all the portable units I have reviewed so far, this one is by far the quietest. When you set it to the lowest fan speed, it runs at just 45 decibels, which is really quiet, more like a soft background noise you barely notice. It's definitely something you can sleep through or have running while working without it being distracting. Even at higher settings, it stays relatively quiet compared to other models in the same category, which really makes a difference if you're using it in a bedroom or home office. Now, when I checked it with the thermal camera after a few hours of continuous use, you can clearly see that the exhaust hose gets pretty hot, and that's totally normal. It's the only path for the unit to push the hot air out, so heat buildup there is expected. That's exactly why I recommend keeping the hose as short as possible, to minimize any of that heat radiating back into the room. As for the unit itself, it actually handles heat really well. The hottest part I recorded was this corner right here, which hit about 87 degrees. But overall, the body of the unit stays relatively cool, which is a good sign of efficient airflow and internal management. And the last feature I have to mention is the drainage-free design. Unlike many other portable ACs that need frequent manual draining, this unit has an internal system that automatically evaporates most of the condensation it pulls from the air. To test how effective that really is, I ran the unit for 6 hours straight. The humidity here was under 60%, and when I checked the upper drainage port, there was just a small amount of water, same with the bottom one. That really confirms how well this system handles moisture. In typical humidity conditions, you rarely need to drain it yourself, which makes it super low maintenance and convenient. So, who would I recommend this unit for? Well, this unit is perfect if you have a medium to large size room, something around 300 to 450 square feet, and you want strong cooling power with smart features. It is great for bedrooms, living rooms, or even studio apartments. Now, if you don't need that much power and you're just cooling a smaller space, Dreo also offers lower BTU versions that might be a better fit, so you've got options depending on your needs. Overall, I've been really impressed with this unit. It's powerful, compact, easy to install, and packed with features that actually make a difference, especially the app control, which is a game changer. The noise levels are low, the energy efficiency is solid, and the fact that it handles moisture so well means less maintenance for you. Whether you're looking for something to cool down your bedroom, living room, or even a small apartment, the Dreo 14,000 BTU portable AC is definitely worth considering. If you have any questions about the unit, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to help out. I've added the product links down in the description, so if you want to check it out, you can find everything there. And just a heads up, if you buy through my link, I might earn a small commission, which helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. Don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more honest reviews like this one. Thanks for watching.